If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. Welcome, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, and we are getting into breaking down your money wounds so you can heal them. Leaving a wound unintended can cause great loss and major consequences. If you get a nasty scrape on your leg, my guess is you would assess the severity of it. If it requires medical care, then clean it out, disinfect it, put a bandage on it, and check it daily. You would do this for yourself, any of your loved ones, even a stranger. You would do this because the consequence of not doing it would be painful and could even end in a nasty, life-altering infection, a scar, more pain. Leaving your money wounds unaddressed and unattended has just as high of consequences. And part of you knows this and is even experiencing it right now, yet you avoid fully addressing them. And I'm not saying this to shame you. It's because unlike a physical wound, we weren't taught how to address them. It's not linear. It's very clear what we need to do to attend to a physical wound or a fall or a scrape or a cut, a laceration. But it isn't such a clear line on how to tackle, unpack, and heal money wounds. But if we don't address those, and if you don't prioritize addressing these, they're going to fester until the pain is great enough for you to wave the white flag and go, I need help with this. My life is unmanageable. I feel irritable. I feel discontent. I don't like this. I'm sick and tired of being broke. I'm sick and tired of being in this financial situation. I'm sick and tired of not having the freedom level cash to provide the things, the experiences, the lifestyle that I want for myself and my family. For me, I had to lose almost everything I built, which was almost $1 million within a 3-month period, in order for me to wake up and prioritize tending to my buried money wounds. And on the outside, those of you who know my story, and I know many of you are new to the show, welcome, where you don't know my full story, and you will as you go through all the episodes, is that I was raised as probably like the second wealthiest family in an already wealthy neighborhood in North Shore, Chicago. So had a Olympic-sized pool in the backyard, had a wine cellar that's as big as most people's bedrooms, 2 full-size gourmet kitchens, 2 full bars in the house. I'm just giving you some perspective. And again, those of you who know the story know that while there's privilege in being raised in money, there was heavy, heavy abuse going on in that household, and I was the target for it. So even though there was money, and I watched my mom as a single mom, well, single in between 800 guys coming in and out, and husbands and such, but a single mom, entrepreneur, working nonstop, entrepreneurship looked terrible to me. And what do you think I associated with money? I associated evil with money, abuse with money, bad things that happen with money. And I didn't want bad things to happen anymore to myself or other people. So that's what I associated money with. It was held over my head. I had to do and perform sexual acts and inappropriate child labor, and had excessively high pressure expectations, adult level chores that were excessive and not appropriate in order to get money. So then what do you think What do you think the belief was I had in there, buried in my system? That in order to get money, obtain money, in order to have the things that I desired, I had to trade my body, mind, and soul. I had to do things that sucked. I had to do things that were painful. I had to do things that were gross and icky and awkward and terrible in order to get it. So why would I be so hell-bent on having a lot of money? So I carried that with me. Now it's easy for me now to look back after doing many years of prioritizing, uncovering, and redeveloping and rearranging these money wounds so that I could step into the abundance that I deserve and you deserve. But for me, and maybe for you too, I had to be in a lot of pain and have everything blow up for me to wake up to it. I knew there was stuff there. I knew there was stuff there because I would watch everyone else, and it seemed like they were making money, having a good living. And I don't even mean like multimillionaire life, but just having a good living, getting promotions, traveling, having great experiences. I even remember one of my friends, she got, do you guys remember like 7 jeans when that was like the thing? Like you had, and jeans used to be wildly expensive, like inappropriately. Like, weren't those 7 jeans? They were like, I think they were even like 300. And I remember her having that. And then I think she got, when Coach bags were like it, she had the Coach bag, and I didn't have any of that yet. I could technically afford to do that, but I didn't do any of that stuff for myself. So I would covet it, and I'd watch her, and she went and bought it with no problemo, wore them with pride. I was like envious. I didn't think I could do that. I didn't give myself permission to even buy that. And buried deep was there'd be a cost involved. I would have to sacrifice something to have that. But I would watch these people closely in my life, whether they were mentors, whether it was a boss, coworkers, whatever, friends, even neighbors. And I would be like, what the hell? Why does it seem to come so easy for them? Why does it seem to be so enjoyable for them? Why does it seem like they're not pining and working away and struggling and forcing and pushing and hustling, and they're having fun and they're having all these great experiences, and I'm over here damn near killing myself in order to pay my rent, pay my mortgage, pay my life, and I wasn't happy and I was miserable. They had this like sense of freedom about it and fun about it. And I wanted that. And so I knew there was something there. I just chalked it up to, well, it's because I had a fucked up childhood and I'm just kind of messed up. And I even at one point thought that just isn't in the cards for me. I'm, maybe because I was raised with money and God wanted me to struggle. I mean, I really came up with all sorts of stuff because I didn't know, and I didn't feel called, or maybe was not in enough pain to seek help until I busted my ass. I sacrificed. I did all the things right that I believed. I highly sacrificed. I traded my mind, body, and soul. I was a workaholic. I did all the things nonstop. I didn't prioritize my well-being or health or fun. And it does work. It's just not sustainable. So I had $1 million in the bank by the time I was 30 years old, which is my goal. A true 7 figures in the bank. And within 3 months of having that, it was almost all gone. Everything I'd sacrificed, saved, worked for, scrimped, cut coupons, vacations and trips at concerts I wanted to attend with people that I told myself I couldn't. It was all gone. And if you go listen to me, if you Google my episode on Chris Harder's show, so if you put maybe for the Love of Money podcast, Tiffany Carter, or you put Chris Harder and Tiffany Carter, you Google that, it'll come up on his podcast. He interviewed me in a lot of great detail on how this happened, since he has a finance background, and you guys will really find the interview interesting. At the time, it was one of his most downloaded interviews. So you guys should go listen to it. I think it was it was either late 2018 or early 2019. I can't remember. So I had to wake up. I knew this was crazy. I was in so much shame. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, all of that was for nothing. It's gone. It's totally gone. And I knew I had to get very serious about those money wounds. So maybe for you, it's hard to hold on to money. You can make money. So that's me. Not now, but before it was, I could make money. I had to freaking kill myself to make it, right? But I could make money, but it didn't stay. There would always be something that came up, some shit that happened. I would feel like I went 2 steps ahead and then 3 steps back. Maybe it feels impossible to make the money you desire and you really want it and you feel like you're doing everything and it's just not happening. And why is it happening for everyone else but me? I'm a good person. I'm even good at what I do. I'm honest. I really care about people. And you're just really genuinely don't get it and don't see it. And you want to know and you want to fix it. And you're almost at a point of where you're like hopeless about it. Maybe you've got yourself in a heaping pile of debt. Maybe you make good money, but can't seem to create the wealth that would give you the freedom. So you get to that. That was me in the corporate world, right? I could make the 100, 150. I think my highest in corporate life was like 180 with bonuses. And then I had lots of perks, like an expense account. They paid for my car insurance, all that stuff. And in corporate life, that's considered like amazing. And I could have that, but it wasn't enough for me to have the freedom. I wasn't going to be able to create wealth where I could retire early on that money. I had to be in the confines of corporate life. I couldn't just take a 3-week vacation. That would be all my vacation days for the year. I couldn't just work when I worked best with my energy and my lifestyle. I had to spend weekends at medical conferences. I had to write reports and attend meetings that were unnecessary, and just so someone could justify your job. Those are the fun ones, right? So I didn't have the freedom. Here's the deal. You're not bad with money. It's not that you're not smart enough or unqualified. You started too late. You don't know what you're doing. You're bad at tech, blah, 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 blah. You simply have money wounds that need to be addressed, prioritized, and healed. So what I've done inside my ProjectME Posse Group coaching membership is now I have deliberately weaved in where every single month we have a money and abundance training. So it is around unpacking these wounds, reframing these wounds, sharing exercises, really seeing where this comes from and how to address it, and getting you for the month in that abundance mindset. And then, of course, you can go back. You have unlimited access. As long as you're a member, you have unlimited access to go back and listen to these episodes. You don't always have to watch the videos. You could listen and multitask, which I highly encourage multitasking while listening to me. And listen and absorb, because if you don't work on that stuff, all the strategy I teach you that's been proven over 14 years in every possible niche, my emotional-based sales techniques that without a doubt work. You could work with me privately, like my clients who work with me privately for a whole year. You could be that person and you will subconsciously self-sabotage everything you want or make it 1,000,000 times harder to achieve it if you don't unpack these wounds and start healing them. So a couple things I want you just to think about as you go on a walk or a bath this week, as you go about your day. What do you think it is that you're going to have to trade in order to have the life-changing wealth you desire? What do you feel you have to trade? What is it what do you believe you're going to have to give up? What do you believe you're going to have to sacrifice? Because that's where the resistance is. You believe you're going to have to give up something to get, to sacrifice something to have. What is that? What do you feel that is? And then I want you to look at it is that absolutely true? You might have some evidence from your childhood, from even your current life, from witnessing celebrities, go through bankruptcy, right? You might have seen evidence of it because whatever we believe, we subconsciously and consciously seek evidence to affirm our beliefs, to confirm our beliefs. So what I want you to do is deliberately seek evidence of the opposite, of the contrary. So let's say you believe you're going to have to sacrifice time with your family, time taking care of yourself. You're going to really have to be like hardcore boss mode a lot of the time. And that sounds terrible to you. That's what you've created this thing of it's going to be hard. It's going to be messy. It's going to be so much work. It's going to be not fun in order to have life-changing wealth, in order to build my business where I want it to go. Well, let's look at evidence of the contrary where that's not true. I'm evidence of it. It has to be evidence that you believe. Start looking for evidence where that's not true. Why? That's not a rule that's written somewhere. It's a society. There's programming. There's generational programming of you have to work hard in order to have this. Well, working hard can also be fun. Why can't you work easy? Why can't it be different? Why can't you go about it a different way? Look for people who you actually believe who aren't doing like fantasy marketing online that you're like, no, I mean, I could work like that. ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, the business coaching brand, this was built part-time. I have another company. So I'm running another company. This is built part-time, but those hours are very focused and deliberate, and I cut out all the fat. So it's not true. Look for contrary evidence. Tell yourself, I'm going to paint a new picture of truth. So you can write it down. You can do a voice memo. You can speak it to a friend. You can DM it to me. What'd be cool is if you took a screenshot of this episode and wrote on this screenshot in your Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and wrote on there the new money story you're creating for yourself. My new money story is blank, and it can be a sentence or two. The shorter, the better, so you actually remember it. My new money story is blank. And then share that because other people need to see that as well. It's going to help other people. It's going to help you putting that out there. I love this idea. Tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany so I can share it. Go leave me a damn 5-star review. If all you have time for is to click the 5 stars, I'll take it. What I would really appreciate is a 5-star written review on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. But if all you have time to do is click the 5 stars, I'll take it. You got to help this show grow, honey, because this shit is not free to put out. So we have a summer bonus sale going on right now inside my ProjectME Posse group coaching membership. For $3.33 a day, you get weekly live trainings from me and other special guest experts. This is designed to get you to $15,000 consistent months in your business. I even have clients who are making well into that. They're in the 50s, they're in the hundreds, but they're inside the posse because of the collaborations that go down in there. The fact you get pretty much weekly access to me for live Q&A. And there's a sense of accountability and support so you don't feel so alone in this. And it's wildly entertaining because we get to have fun while we make a lot of money. It gets to be fun, exciting, exhilarating to make money. In fact, that's how you end up making massive money. So go to projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectMePosse, projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectMePosse. You can swipe up and the link is in the show notes as well. And the summer bonus sale isn't going to be going on much longer because we cap the group at 250 people so that we can keep this at an intimate size. Go in there. It's month to month. You can cancel at any time. You're not going to want to. I'm excited to see you in there, and let's get these damn wounds healed so you can open the pathways in your brain and in your body for massive wealth, because that's what you're available for and that's what you deserve. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.